leaving. I'm not leaving. The show goes on.
We are so back
with chill vibes and cold takes.
We are so back. Let's go. Welcome back to the DQ Frenzy for the first episode in almost 4 months. I'm Dylan, as always, joined by my host, Quinn Schmiedo. Like he said earlier, we always got chill vibes and cold takes. It is so happy. It's so refreshing to be back doing the podcast again for a full season. Co-host Quinn, how are we doing? How are we feeling that a new season of NFL is upon us?
I am so pumped. It's going to be great. I mean, we just won the Super Bowl, but why not another one, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, for those that are new listeners or who are just listening or need a reminder, Quinn's an Eagles fan. I'm a Steelers fan. I got the James Conner jersey. He is no longer at Pittsburgh, but hey, it's an autographed jersey in the back there, so gotta wear it. Gotta show off my old school Steelers jersey. But yeah, first season for a podcast, Quinn. You had the good luck. Can Aaron Rodgers bring that luck to me? I don't know. Maybe, probably not. Man, what the? I can't even go through our return podcast episode without some big news happening a few days later. So for those who don't know, Quinn and I recorded our return episode on Tuesday night, and 2 days later, some big news happens. The reason why it's taken a while to come out, just to let you guys know, the videos will be a lot shorter than that. It will not be an hour and a half every time. We'll keep it more like an hour, maybe a little over an hour for normal episodes, but we just had to get our predictions in. And as well, you will notice throughout the episode that not only does it get darker in my room, but I talk a little bit softer and a little bit quieter, and that's because it was getting late at night. I was getting headaches because this episode was taking forever. Still a great episode, but it was going a bit long in the tooth, and that's why we had to cut it down and edit it. But still, a must-watch episode. We definitely got to react to this Micah news because it is absolutely huge. Micah Parsons has been traded to the Green Bay Packers of all teams. Jerry Jones is just the gift that keeps on giving. I cannot believe that this man managed to screw this up. I thought for sure that he was probably going to be signed at the last minute, kind of like Dak and CD to a contract, and that was going to be that. But nope. He is gone. And not only is he gone, you keep him in conference and to a rival. Yes, because the Cowboys and Packers are a rivalry. The Packers are going to be playing at the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Poor Dallas. First Luka, then this. I feel so bad. So, Micah's signing for 4 years, $188 million, including $136 million guaranteed. So that just broke TJ's record right off the bat. And in return, they got 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, who is a decent player. But again, Dallas is trying to compete. That's why they signed Dak. That's why they signed CD. And that's why they traded for George Pickens. Whether you think of him as a personality or a player, they made moves for a reason. And Dallas wasn't even in the upper echelon of contenders. Boy, is the vibe of that locker room rough right now. And I don't blame them. And they got Philly in less than a week that they have to play now without their star defensive player. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It felt like Jerry was actually not happy with Micah and the comments he was saying. It just seemed like they just couldn't come to an agreement. And all the drama we've heard over the summer, whatever negotiations were happening, apparently that handshake deal they had didn't mean anything. And now he's a Packer. And now Green Bay's defense, at least the pass rush got a lot better. The secondary could be shaky, but it definitely elevates Green Bay to me to definitely a big playoff team that's huge for Jordan Love. And for Dallas, they're in trouble. They're in bigger trouble than they already were before. Man, Jerry, it's just never change, man. As a Steeler fan and for Quinn being an Eagles fan, we love you so much, man. Never change. Thank you for watching my TED Talk. We need to actually get into the episode. Let's get started with it. And I'm pretty sure these two people are the first two people that you want us to talk about, and that is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Because those are the two first names that anybody would want to hear on any football podcast. That's what Taylor said, too, on New Heights, saying, I bet you that football fans just want to see more of me. Well, guess what? We're going to talk more about you, Taylor. Maybe come the podcast one day. But, yes, this morning, Travis and Taylor posted on their Instagrams that they are getting engaged. Congrats to them. Quinn, you want to put anything on it besides that?
No, good for them. It's nice to see people find love, even though they're superstars, whether it's sports or the more, oh gosh, chaotic world of music and pop stars. But yeah, good for them. I'm glad they're happy, and hopefully there's no more songs about exes for Taylor.
You can only pray, can't you? But enough of that wishy-washy. That's not football. This is football news. We finally got extensions going. Trey Hendrickson has been extended by the Bengals, as well as Scary Terry. Both of their contracts have finally worked out for them. Hendrickson's extension, he will get a $14 million raise from the Cincinnati Bengals, which boosts his salary this year to $30 million. And it's 3 years, but I believe that he has an option to be a free agent next year. So that must have been a very intriguing deal for him to take. Scary Terry, on the other hand, 3-year extension worth up to $96 million. So, Quinn, there always seems to be at least one of these per year. In this case, we kind of had like 4 almost, but TJ Watt's got dealt with. We finally got 2 new extensions before the season starts in Hendrickson and Scary Terry. But what do you think about this, and what do you think about it being so last minute?
Well, I think it's funny the AFC North is having so much trouble with stars. I mean, Myles Garrett back like before the Super Bowl time, and then now we got Trey Hendrickson getting his 1-year deal, which I think works out well for him because no one is trading for him, or he's not getting traded because the Bengals aren't going to take anything for him. So I think it works out the best. He's getting paid more, and then next year he can go and join another team without having to deal with trade compensation of this, and this. And clearly the Bengals don't give a crap about their defense. Well, I have a defense. I don't know.
I like it.
Who needs a defense? We'll just have an offense. That'll do well. That didn't backfire on us last season or anything like that. I mean, from the Bengals' perspective, I think it's poor. I mean, clearly they don't want to pay him, which whatever, I guess. Fair enough. But interesting. It's very disappointing that Terry McLaurin got paid because that means he's with the Commanders longer. That's annoying. But he'll get locked up in Guantanamo Bay during the regular season anyways. But yeah, I mean, good for these guys getting their deals done. Micah Parsons still doesn't have his deal. Shocker, Cowboys. Who would have thought? But yeah, it seems very last minute. I mean, are these guys taking notes from the Cowboys? Like, you know what? We want some drama. Let's wait till a week and 3 days before the season, before the season starts to pay them. Trey Hendrickson he's not been practicing, so he's going to be rusty for the first month. No training camp, no practice, no anything. So that's going to be rough for the Bengals because, well, it's not great if you don't have to practice. I know he's a superstar, but probably have a few less sacks this season. But I digress. Yeah, it's good for these guys. Exciting they got paid. Not as exciting that they didn't go somewhere else. But we'll have to see where Hendrickson ends up next season because he's definitely not going to be on the Bengals.
We're 7 minutes in this podcast, and your ego's got to talk about the Eagles, man. Guantanamo Bay and how Scary Terry's is not going to get all these catches because of that. Come on, be happy for the
East. Man. Yeah, good for him. It's just a shame he's on the Commanders.
Good for him. it's an odd route that both these teams are going last minute, like you mentioned. Somebody in Dallas is not happy right now that everybody else is getting paid. If you saw him or actually in the preseason of him laying down on the injury bed, just like looking like he'd rather be anywhere else but Dallas, that was just comedic time. Shout out to Jerry Jones, man. You are the gift that keeps on giving. Please never retire, never
Big
pass
fan.
away. Just
Yeah.
stay alive forever. Please,
Yes.
for all Eagles and Steelers fans and every fan that's a hater of the Cowboys, which is everybody, please do. But in terms of Hendrickson and Terry, it seems like every year there's always these like rumor mills, right? Oh, they're gonna get traded somewhere. I think Hendrickson especially we thought was kind of either good as gone or he was gonna sit out. Terry, I think most of us had a good feeling. He wasn't really going anywhere. Why would you do that if you're the Commanders? You got a rookie quarterback, so you don't got to pay him yet. He's only in he had a rookie quarterback, second year, so you don't have to worry. Get all the pieces while you can. They've been doing that on defense. You might as well do that on the offensive side as well. So, yeah, there was no excuse there. It's just, again, weird that they had to procrastinate. In Cincy's case, if Hendrickson's gone, that defense was bad enough last year. Could you imagine that defense without Hendrickson? They'd be giving up 80 points instead of 50 per game. It'd be even worse. And their defense still might be rough because they really haven't done a lot to inspire the fans at all. I think a lot of fans in Cincy are dreading another similar season to last year where Burrow has to carry the team in this offense, which one of the better offenses in football, but this defense might cost them again. So it might be like a same day, different crap type of deal for Cincy, and that's a shame for them. But at least both of them got their deals done. Like you said, Quinn, Hendrickson might be somewhere else next year, especially if it doesn't work out for Cincy. But breathe a sigh of relief, both fan bases, while Dallas, keep being in the heart attack that you are, please. you fans deserve it. Other bits and pieces of news. Kenny Pickett, the legend himself, Kenny Two Gloves, has been traded to the Raiders.
Super Bowl champion Kenny Two Gloves.
Oh, yes, indeed. For a 5th-round pick, that man couldn't even play a preseason game due to injury. He couldn't even be active for a regular season game. Continuing with the crap that is the Browns quarterback room, Dylan Gabriel has been selected as the backup for the Browns. It is not Shedeur Sanders, which is kind of a shocking move. And obviously, this isn't new news, but Joe Flacco is going to start. And we believe it's probably going to be for a couple weeks before someone steps in. But it seems like it's going to be Gabriel and not Sanders, which is interesting. But Quinn, what are your thoughts on the clown show that the Browns quarterback room is?
Well, I'm kind of glad he got out of there and has a better chance because he got traded to the Raiders because Aiden O'Connell got hurt. It's going to be out for like 4 to 6 weeks or something. I don't think O'Connell's great. I would take Kenny over O'Connell, but O'Connell has more starting experience, I think. But anyway, it's interesting. I'm glad he has somewhere with more of a chance to start. I think if he hadn't gotten hurt, he'd probably have the starter job. But I don't know. We won't know. We'll never know. But I think it's interesting. Gabriel got the backup position over Sanders because watching some of the highlights from the Eagles preseason game against them, Dylan Gabriel wasn't doing that great. He was kind of struggling with. He was playing with some of the second and third stringers of the Browns,
I think.
but yeah, to Makuba, the Eagles safety from I think the 4th round. He might be starting for Eagles at safety. I don't know. Similar Sidney Brown. Anyway. But yeah, Gabriel wasn't that impressive. So it's kind of, I guess you see something in him. It's also one game. You can't really judge somebody that well in one game. The Browns have had a lot of practices and gotten to see him a lot. But it seems like Shedeur was a bit better. I don't know. Maybe not. Or maybe the Browns are crazy. And they're like, you know what? Sanders, you know what? You're 3rd string. That's funny. It sucks to suck. But yeah, no, not entirely unsurprising that one of the quarterbacks from the Browns group got traded. But yeah, I'm happy for Kenny getting a different position. different team, different opportunity. Under Pete Carroll too.
Man, we can't see Kenny Two Gloves against his former team that drafted him. What the shame of all shame, man. I wanted to see Kenny probably get booed out the building by Steelers fans, as he probably. I thought he was going to start until the injury happened, just because I'm not sure if they were going to have 40-year-old Flacco in there with not just as experience, but at least he's played games. Kenny Pickett, but once he injured his fingers, he was kind of screwed. He was kind of done there. It's almost like, what was the point of signing him? If you were going to go with this Gabriel Sanders route, why would you even do this? They are so desperate to get a franchise QB, which they had in Baker Mayfield, by the way, everybody.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah. Jimmy Haslam's cheap ass doesn't want us to tell us about that. But yeah, it's good for Kenny that he's in, I guess, a better position. I mean, obviously Geno's going to start for the season, but Kenny being the backup there is intriguing. You don't know. I think Geno was banged up a little bit last year in Seattle, so there's definitely a slim but possibility that Kenny could be out there. But his starting career looks like it's kind of done. He's probably just going to be. It's looking like journeyman, which kind of makes sense. Like he'll obviously like keep his jobs, like he has one in Vegas, and he'll probably bounce around to other teams. But as a starter, unless the team's desperate, probably not happening. And in terms of Gabriel and Sanders, I think Gabriel had that infamous, like, when the interview asked him about Shador, I think he was kind of, it almost sounded like, I don't know if it was intentional, but like he was making a comments about how Shador's like a social media quarterback and everything, and how Dylan's just there to do the work. It was interesting interview there. For those who haven't checked it out, I recommend it if you like some juicy drama. But maybe that's what it boils down to, is like not just like on the field, but off the field. Gabriel is more prepared, more mature, while Shador is not. And if that's the case, maybe it's the right choice. I mean, Joe Flacco's not going to play all 17 games. There's just no way. So we might see not even just Gabriel, but we might see all three of them play this year. And they're still going to be like a horrible team. So what difference does it make? So yes, the disaster class that is the Browns continues. And as a Steeler fan, I love it. Some other NFL news that isn't too big of a deal, but some like a couple of moves here. Shiloh Sanders, another Sanders, got waived by the Bucs after a fight in his preseason game, as well as Desmond Watson. For those who don't know who Desmond Watson is in Tampa, he was the heaviest player in NFL history, weighed in at 449 pounds. He was on track for losing weight, but Tampa again waived him. But maybe best of luck to him to see if he'll get picked up by someone.
Sign him to the training or practice squad, maybe.
Yeah, maybe practice squad's possible. The Dolphins signed Rasul Douglas to a 1-year deal. They need anybody in the secondary, and they just traded Ramsey to us, so makes sense. And then in another piece of funny news for the Browns, they cut Deontay Johnson, who I didn't even know existed still.
Yep.
I thought that man was long as gone. Apparently he was still alive in an NFL uniform. Not anymore, because not even the Browns want him as a receiver. So watch him come back to Pittsburgh. But then the Browns also traded for Rams offensive tackle KT Leviston. Any of those moves, Quinn, stand out to you at all?
Oh, when you said JT, I was thinking Real Muto, Philly player.
There you go again.
Yeah, JT Realmuto, he's doing pretty good. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. Interesting. Heaviest player got waived, but I feel like that's part of the game of not quite good enough to make the 53-man roster. We'll sign you back to the practice squad if no one else takes you. The Eagles are doing that with a few players, like some backup quarterbacks and everything. But I'll mention something you didn't mention. A little bit of news, but I should say not huge news. But in the Kenny Pickett trade, the Eagles got Dorian Thompson-Robinson from the Browns in exchange, besides the picks, and they released DTR. So they might sign back to the practice squad.
What a big piece of breaking news!
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, all that trade just for the picks, I guess. And now their quarterback is with the team that got him. And I mean, again, Eagles might sign back to practice squad, but he didn't look very good. I think we liked Kyle McCord, our rookie that QB we drafted better. But yeah, interesting.
Yes, interesting indeed. Yeah, DTR. I mean, what a miss there. I mean, whoever gets him is going to, whoever doesn't have or got rid of him is going to regret it. They're going to regret it. Future Hall of Famer, MVP, everything. Anyway, let's move on and let's start ranking. We have our
Yeah.
first power rankings of the season. I have a new intro. It's not here yet, but it will be included in the edit, so bear with that. But I'm going to start with you, Quinn. So what we'll do is Quinn will go over his quickly, I will go over mine, and then I got a side-by-side comparison so we can react and crap on each other's rankings because we inevitably will. But we're starting with you.
All right. So for this first, just going over, we're not going to dwell on it too much. Just talk about who we have, and then when we compare it, we'll talk about smack and all that. So number 10, I have the Commanders. 10 Commanders, 9 the Broncos, the Denver Broncos. 8 is the Green Bay mother loving Packers. 7 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as annoying as they are to the Eagles. Then you have the Los Angeles Rams at number 6. Coming in at number 5, you got the Detroit Lions with 2 new coordinators. Scary. Number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills. Shout out to Tom. He was on the show. Bills fan. Number 3, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, the runners up in the Super Bowl. And number 1, of course, the winners of the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, time to pull it up. Here it is, and here's our comparison. So for me, at number 10, I got the Green Bay Mother Loving Packers. At number 9, we got the LA Rams. Number 8, we got the Broncos. I think a lot of people are high on them this year, including Quinn and I. And Quinn was high on them last year, too, and he called it. Number 6, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 5, we got the Detroit Lions. Number 4, we got the Bills. Number 3, we got the Chiefs. At 2, the Ravens. And similarly, at number 1, we got the Super Bowl champion Eagles because, of course, they will. But taking a look at these comparisons here, it seems like towards the top, it's mostly similar. We got the Lions and Bills around the same, which seems to make sense. But the Ravens and Chiefs, Quinn, for those, again, new viewers or don't remember, this man is a fan of a million teams, and the Chiefs is one of his other favorite teams.
Yes, 3.
3, a million, same thing. His other is the Packers. Go figure. He's a fan of 3 playoff teams. But yeah, we got different rankings here. That's interesting here. The reason I had the Ravens above the Chiefs is just because of offseason moves or lack thereof and just roster-wise. I understand you can't bet against Mahomes and that team no matter how shaky the roster looks, but man, this looks like if there's any year for Baltimore to make the Super Bowl, this is it. I feel like their defense and their additions and just everybody they have can only be stronger from here. They got rid of their cancer kicker in Tucker and got a pretty good rookie in return because Tucker kind of costed them some games last year. And Henry's still there. He's still healthy as ever. And I think I just think Baltimore right now gives me a little bit more confidence, especially in the regular season, to do better than Kansas City, who's still recovering from injuries. Rashee Rice, I think, is due to get suspended pretty soon. Kelce's not getting any younger. We don't know what the running back game is. Their defense is still one of the best in football. But it's usually the postseason when the team performs at its best compared to the regular season. But Quinn, interestingly enough, I mean, I don't even know why I'm surprised. Of course, you got the Chiefs at 2. Your 2 favorite teams
the
in the
Chiefs
top 2.
Just lost the Super Bowl. So, out of respect, I'll put them up there. The Ravens didn't even sniff the Super Bowl. I mean, they kind of sniffed it, but like, they're not getting there. They're not getting to the AFC Championship, which is kind of important to get there. So just partially out of recency, partially out of clutchness of their team quarterback. I know they had a rough ending there with manager's drops, but a guy dropping a ball twice shouldn't change the outcome of the whole game. You still lost. Still 4 quarters of play that you could have played differently. But yeah, I also had the Chiefs higher just because, well, also just they've been better than the Ravens. So yeah, still recency biased. The Chiefs also have been rebuilding the offensive line, so I think that's going to help them a lot. But um,
That is a very good point. They have had some additions to the O line. Also, just realized in my power rankings for those who are watching, I did mean to have the Commanders there. I meant to have the Commanders right where the Bucks were. For some reason, they disappeared on me. Because of course they did, just like they did in the NFC Championship. There's a little good shot at them. But I noticed in terms of our teams, I think the teams are the same. We don't have any different team. They're just ranked differently. And specifically 5 through 10 or 6 through 10 is ordered completely differently because I had the Commanders at 6 on my list. For those to update it, I had the Commanders at 6, and let's see, you
the
had
Rams.
the Rams at 6. So it's interesting. You had the Commanders all the way at 10, even though they just made the NFC Championship game,
But they're
and they
getting
just
old.
signed Scary Terry. Are they getting old? Are they?
Yeah, they're not like a very young team, and they're counting all these veterans, and like there's some very good players yet, yes, but I like the teams I have above them better. I mean, the Rams have the issue of Matthew Stafford's back, but otherwise they're pretty much set. Um, the Bucks, they have another wide receiver now. Not to mention Bucky Irving. People have like fanfics about him, like breaking anime records. Or I don't even know, man. People are weird. Uh, but then the Packers, um, I could see argument for Commanders being better than the Packers, but um, I like the Packers better, not just personally, but team wise. And Broncos, again, I like the Broncos. I think they're good. I learned more about Bo Nix recently, his whole journey, and I think he's set up to he's not going to have a sophomore slump, knock on wood. But I think they're set up, and I like the Broncos defense a whole lot better than the Commanders offense and defense. But yeah.
I think, again, like I said earlier, that a lot of people are high on Denver. It just, a lot of it matters on Bo
Mile
Nix.
high.
A lot of it matters on the offense and the rookie running back and just Sean Payton in general. Can they live up to what they also did last year? Can they build up with it? And
Yes.
I think a lot of people believe that they can, especially with that stout defense that they supposedly should have this year. And Tampa's another one that I could see going on a big run because they really didn't lose anybody besides obviously their coordinator to Jacksonville, Mr. Duval himself. But I don't think that's going to stop the offense. I still think, despite the Godwin concerns, Mike Evans is still going at it. Ibuka is, I think, going to be a stud there. And the defense, obviously, is consistent. Not like at Denver's level, but they still help them win games. So I think Tampa and Denver, like Quinn and I both agree, like sky's the limit for them. Packers, I mean, I have them at 10, but they're kind of like Quinn to the Commanders that you don't have much faith in. Green Bay's kind of the one I'm just shaky on. I know Josh Jacobs is great, but man, that receiving room, like who's going to stand out of them? Because the Packers need somebody out of them to do something. I mean, Reed isn't consistent. Like he'll flash every now and then, but then he'll struggle. And the rest of the receivers, and Watson's just too inconsistent too for my
Matthew
liking.
Golden, man. They just drafted a wide
Yeah,
receiver. Clearly, he
they
has to be
did.
great.
They did draft the speedster. I think it was like the first time 20 years they did it. So Aaron Rodgers got to be feeling so good about that. But yeah, the Packers are kind of just iffy on to me. But yeah, I think in terms of power rankings, I mean, we generally agreed with the teams. We
Yeah.
just believed
If
in
we
more
had the
teams
same, that'd
than
be
others.
boring. You know,
It would
can't
be
have the
boring.
same. We have variety,
Yeah,
and
next
we don't
time
have
I'm
the
taking the
Cowboys.
I'm taking the Chiefs. Taking the Chiefs off the top 10.
Ah,
Dallas will-
boo!
Yeah, I'll just do that just to spite you. But Quinn, we got our next segment coming up, and this is all you, man. This is all you're doing and your creation for this segment. So take it away.
All right, so this segment might develop into more in longer term, but for now, there's not a name for it. We're just going with it. So
No name.
today we're
No
gonna
name
no
segment.
name. That's the name of the segment. No name. So I just have two top 10 lists. We're gonna go over briefly. Maybe controversial, maybe upset some people, but that sucks for them, doesn't it? So top 10 quarterbacks. Number one. No, we're starting with number 10. Number 10, Jared Goff. I don't know what to think of Jared Goff. I mean, he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a star. He's clearly good enough, at least with some kind of supporting cast, to win games, but I don't know how far he can take a team. But I should also quick go back and talk about what makes the quarterback top 10. What are my rankings? Um, so there's pure talent. Like, look at Josh Allen, for example. Um, very talented, big arm, makes plays. Um, People would say he can completely carry a team on his own. But then, like, we'll get to that later. But it's a mix of talent and success in their accolades, at least based a lot off of last season. Because that's the most recent. That's what we know. Everyone changes, so the most recent version of them is from last year. So that's kind of how I base this off of. I'll talk about more how I judge the quarterbacks as we go on. But number 10 at Jared Goff, good, but not quite as talented as the other quarterbacks. Number 9, I have Jaden Daniels. I don't know if he's going to have a sophomore slump. I know he trained with VR to get used to the speed of NFL. I don't know how much that affected his success. He was a very good player. There's a lot of hype around him. People were putting him in like the best top like 5, top 3, which I think needs to calm down a little bit. He had 1 year, very good year, like record setting, but let's calm down a little bit. Let's 1 year. There's been other time. I mean, look at Carson Wentz. He had phenomenal like independent years,
Wow.
but like
What a
let's settle
shock.
down. It looks he looks good, but let's relax a little. Have the optimism, definitely, absolutely, but maybe not be like MVP right now. No, let's calm down a little. Number 9. Number 8, I have Justin Herbert. I know some people love Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert. I'm a fan of his. Just as a player, as a dude, he seems like a nice guy. Biology major, um, but he's talented. But he doesn't. People call it what if man in the playoffs, and he had his worst game in the playoffs against the Texans. What, 4 interceptions? He needs that clutch. He needs to become clutch. Get that clutch gene. Whatever. There is no clutch gene. Oh, actually, there could be. But anyway, but he has the arm. He has the talent. He set records when he was a rookie in passing and everything. But he just needs to have some postseason success, and he hasn't really had that many opportunities to do so. And I mean, the Chargers' new head coach helped a lot. I mean, Brandon Staley was not quite great. I mean, Herbert still did well under him, but with Harbaugh now, he's doing a lot better. But Harbaugh hasn't had a lot of recent NFL experience or playoff success. So I think Herbert. I think a coach like Peyton Manning would have been a little better for him in that sense of playoff experience. But I'd like to see more from him in that respect. But still a very good quarterback. Number 8. Number 7, Baker Mayfield. This is purely just based off his numbers. He's been having great years with passing the ball. I mean, another one of the things quarterbacks where is he good? Could he lead on team on his own? But right now he's supported by a great receiving core. And I mean the running backs have been pretty good. Right now they should be pretty darn good. A good defense, you might say great. But it's another one of the things where how good is he independently, right? Is he just supported? Has he had those independent games where his guys haven't been around, where his guys have been hurt, where he had to make the plays? I don't really watch that many Bucks games, to be honest, so I don't know. But it's another one of the discussions of how good is he. I'm putting him at 7 because he has the numbers and the talent there in passing to Evans, Godwin, and Buka this season. But and of course, you can go back and say, like, Cleveland didn't have weapons. He's kind of sucked a little bit. He made the playoffs in Cleveland for his first time in how many years? So it kind of bounces back and forth. This is also the modern Baker. I mean, he balled out in LA, but he had weapons, Cooper Kupp, But so I have him at 7, respectable 7. Number 6, I have Stafford. He's just kind of the veteran who knows what he's doing. He seems like a nice guy. He spent a lot of time in Detroit on a bad team, but learning. Goes to LA and wins the Super Bowl, 1 year later or so. I know he has back problems or potential back problem right now, but I'm at number 6. I think the Rams could be really good this year. They almost beat the Eagles in the playoffs last season. That's how good they were, and the Eagles trampled the Chiefs. So Matthew Stafford, number 6. Number 5, I'm Mahomes. Now, I know it's talking about recent success, and so past few years before this last season, Mahomes phenomenal. But his numbers have been going down a bit. I mean, he hasn't had great receivers like last year. His receivers just didn't do anything. You think they would, but Worthy was the only one to do anything. I mean, Hopkins didn't do anything. Hollywood Brown wasn't really there. We thought they were going to be great with those additions, but apparently not. But Mahomes is still very good. So I have it number 5 from the past season. Number 4, I'm Joe Burrow. Very talented, great numbers last season, but no playoffs. You can only your defense. His defense is atrocious. So he didn't even get real consideration for MVP, even though he should have. But his team's record was bad, and he stinks in the beginning of the year. We'll see if that changes with him playing preseason snaps. Hopefully, for his sake, it does. But we're just going to have to wait and see. But I Burrow at 4. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. MVP season 2 years ago, arguably could have been MVP last year. Lost to number 2, Josh Allen, but he's a really talented quarterback. But he also lost. He ended up losing to Josh Allen in the playoffs, and I mean, it's not quarterback versus quarterback. Lamar has a really good team. That's another example of Lamar has a good team. Some people say they're the best roster in the NFL. I'm not going to discuss that today, but if he is as super talented, one of the best quarterbacks, he really should be able to take them to the Super Bowl with that, right? Because, again, talking about the supporting cast. No, if the whole Eagles Jalen Hurts thing, you put Joe Burrow on the Eagles, they would have won 4 Super Bowls. Well, Lamar Jackson has a pretty darn good team, but how many Super Bowls does he have? Not even any Super Bowl appearances with his stacked team. So we'll have to see how it goes this year, but all is fair. Lamar Jackson is talented, but he's at number 3. Number 2 is Josh Allen. Josh Allen just won MVP. I think a little more talented overall. I mean, he doesn't run like Lamar. He doesn't have those crazy highlights, but he has more of a sturdy run, but he can run well. But yeah, I just like Josh a little more than Lamar personally. I mean, Josh's arm has always been huge. I mean, a little history. Lamar came in the league, was known as a runner, had to develop his passing game. Josh Allen was a gunslinger. He threw a lot of picks, but he refined his arm, refined his targeting, decision making. Boom. I'm not really sure about his running. I think it's always kind of been there, but both quarterbacks have come up from some type of adversity. Lamar was passing. Josh Allen, it was interceptions. I guess Lamar was the quality of passing. Josh Allen was the decision making. Just throwing it up there, which Dayball helped refine. But I just like Josh Allen a little better. I think he has more raw talent in the passing game, which at the end of the day, quarterbacks are a passing position. They do run, and that can be very useful. But anyway, I have Josh Allen too. And number 1, I have Jalen Hurts.
Get ready for this.
Nah. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know everyone's going to be like, oh,
wow.
geez. Everyone's been like, ESPN's like, Jalen Hurts, he's the number 30th quarterback. Screw that guy. So like I said, this is also based on recent ratings.
Number
Jalen Hurts just
one?
won the Super Bowl. People this season, yes, Saquon Barkley, very talented. We didn't have to throw the ball a lot because we had Saquon Barkley who runs for 60-yard touchdowns against the Rams.
Exactly.
Multiple. And so, like, what do you want him to do? We're not going to make him throw more than he has to. We're going to use our weapons and Saquon Barkley and his rushing. And so, like, and then you have games, oh, Jalen Hurts can't throw. Guess what? Jalen Hurts can put the team on his back and throw. Look at the Super Bowl. They took Saquon Barkley away. No Saquon Barkley. He couldn't do anything. His average run was like 2 yards. I don't actually know the stat, but it was very low. But they're like, all right, Jalen, put the team on your back. And guess what? He did. What, 40-6? I don't know what else I have to say. I mean, yes, he's not doing it every time. They don't need him to do it every time. Is he as talented arm? Does he have a better arm than Josh Allen? No. He's not as good as passing as Josh Allen, but he has those intangibles that it's hard to get, and he wins. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, should have been MVP of both of them. He was a Super Bowl MVP of one of them, arguably close to 2 Super Bowls, but 2 Super Bowl appearances, 3 years, 1 victory. I mean, come on. You gotta at least give him some credit. People just love hating on him for whatever reason. He has a new Sprite commercial. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so that's my top 10 quarterbacks before the season starts.
Jalen Hurts should not be number one. I can argue he's top 5. I will admit that I do think he gets a little hate because the team he's on. It's kind of like he's better than Brock Purdy, but kind of a Brock Purdy effect in terms of, is it him or is it the team around him? Hurts kind of has that. But he is not better than Allen, Lamar, Bo, or Mahomes. I'm sorry. He's not. He is not. I would, personally, I'd have Allen at 1. I think he's playing the best right now. And Lamar's right there with him. And then I'd put Burrow at 3 and Mahomes at 4. Then I'd put Burrow at 5. Or not Burrow, Hurts at 5. I think that's reasonable. Number 1, just because he won a Super Bowl, is insane. He's a top 5. But come on. Of course the Eagles fan is going to say this, but that's all. The rest of the list is pretty reasonable to me.
So, top 10 quarterbacks, done. Boom. Now, top 10 teams by skill position groups. So I looked at, I rated.
You guys will never guess who's number 1.
Wide receivers. And then tight ends, running back. I believe I also flipped around and had a flex position. But I rated the team's best skill position players and ranked them based on that. 10 is the Dolphins. Yeah, woo. Tyreek Hill, I mean, he got worse last year, which I also called last year because he's getting old. But still very talented, could bounce back. Tua can be an issue because of Tua things, concussions, all that fun stuff. Then you have E-Chain, talented running back, as well as Waddle. So very good positions. They would be ranked higher if Hill didn't suck last year. Number 10. Number 9, Texans. I mean, they got a new offensive coordinator, so that should be better. The wide receiver core is just good. Mixon, I know he's out for the entire season, so that's not great. That could drop them down lower. But for this purpose, I have a number 9. I like him a little better than Dolphins this year. And remember David Mills? He used to start QB for the Texans a few years ago. Crazy.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, number 8, Packers. I like the Packers on here just because even though you don't know what's going to happen with the receivers, one of the receivers will always step up and make plays. It's one of the deepest receiving rooms in the league, which is crazy because it's also the youngest. But every week somebody's stepping up. I mean, Reed stepped up a lot last year. Watson was good with Rodgers. I mean, Dobbs stepping up too. You never know. There's another one. I can't remember his name, but he's there. Matthew Golden now. It's kind of just insane. And then not to mention Josh Jacobs and Robert Tunyon, and then their other rookie tight ends is coming in now. But Packers are just deep, and their guys will make plays. So have them at number 8. Number 7, Vikings, Justin Jefferson. You could probably put him up here just because of him, but Addison's been pretty darn good. Aaron Jones has been doing pretty well, even after coming from the Packers, which, yes, it did pain me to put the Vikings above the Packers. But fair is fair. excuse me, and not to mention Vikings tight end TJ Hawkinson, very good as well. So more of a well-rounded position group in the Packers, so that's why they're above them. Excuse me, Bucks. We've talked about them a bit. Bucky Irving, running back, people love him. Not to mention their whole receiving core of Chris Godwin, Burn Street, Mike Evans, and Buka now. The Bucks just have the talent in the wide receivers. I mean, not as talented as Jefferson, but I think overall they're a little higher. Number 5, the Rams. I mean, Puka Nacua, very talented. Devontae Adams. I'm going to stop listing all the players besides the stars here because we don't want this to take forever. But I have the Rams above the Bucks at 5. I just like their guys a little more now. Hopefully, Devontae Adams will step up a little more this year. They're having a bit of a weird season last year. Number 4, I have the Bengals. I mean, Jamar Chase, phenomenal. One of the best, probably number 1 receiver from last year. He did win the Triple Crown, I believe, too. And then even the running back, I mean, Sidney Brown, the Eagles safety, his brother is a Bengals running back. So it's Brown. Case, good name for running back, kind of. But yeah, Bengals just have the pure talent and then just some well-roundedness. Number 3 is the Ravens. I know people love the Ravens, and like I said, best roster in the league. I don't know. But they have the talent. I mean, they have 2 really good tight ends from the looks of it, even though Mandrew's getting a little old. The receivers are good, but I mean, also, I mean, count in Lamar's rushing, not to mention Derrick Henry, very good. Number 2, I have the Lions, just because their running backs are great. I mean, Gibbs is one of the top running backs in the league. Montgomery is no slouch. He's been doing pretty darn well, too. He did be well in fantasy the past few years, too, even though he's sharing snaps. But not to mention St. Brown, their new wide receiver, their new speedster. I guess not new. He's been there like 2 years. But Jameson Williams, even though he gets into some trouble, very talented, explosive offense. We saw that last year, how they were so successful. And number 1, of course, the Eagles, Super Bowl champions. I mean, Saquon Barkley, best running back
What a
in the NFL.
shocker.
I know, crazy. Wow. Who would have thought? Yeah, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Wide receivers are loaded. But right now we have Jahan Dotson as number 3. Dotson's he used to be the number 1 for the Commanders. But anyway, well, actually, number 2, I guess, regardless. Then you have Dallas Goedert, even though he gets hurt a little bit. But Eagles, they're just the best. This was a hard list to make because there's so much talent and it's hard to rank all of them. But yeah, there you go. I might go back through at least mid-year and review some of these again, see how they've changed. But that's that segment. Yay, new segment, unknown segment, name segment.
I think it's pretty interesting, too, how teams like the Bills and Chiefs aren't on there because they're essentially, can't say one-man team, but like Allen and Mahomes
One-man team
caring for the teams. I mean, the Chiefs and Bills have decent defenses, too. But yeah, like roster-wise, they're not on the levels of like a Ravens or a Lions. Miami, I can't agree with you there. I get the offense is intriguing, but that defense is a complete disaster, and I'm not even sure Miami's offense is anywhere near its prime form anymore. So that'd be the only
that's
one.
Why I kept him at number 10. The benefit of the doubt, you know, if Hill goes back up to where he's really good, you know, since it's just skill position, I'm happy with that. Just, you know, but yeah.
I respect it. But it is time to predict. Finally, we are in the predictions portion of this episode.
You stink! Absolutely terrible, man. You're so stupid it hurts.
First, we are going to predict our awards, our NFL Honors Award. We are going to start with the Coach of the Year. And there could be a lot of breakout teams that can cause this. It might usually be a team that comes out of nowhere that nobody expects to win Coach of the Year. Like O'Connell winning last year. No one expected Minnesota to be that good. So it might just be like the shocking team that nobody expects. So I'm going Sean Payton. to win Coach of the Year for
Okay.
the Broncos. Because sky's the limit for them, man. I think if Bo Nix can have a really solid year and lead Denver to another playoff berth, maybe another playoff win, I think Sean Payton's got that award on locks. And maybe Denver has some expectations, but I think they can exceed them even more if they're as hyped up as they are. But they could still maybe even go farther than people think. So I think that's Sean Payton's to win. I know it's a shocker a little bit.
That's good. I like that, though. Now, I'll say my list for these awards might be a little shocking, but we're going interesting here. But here, I don't think this is that crazy, but I'm choosing Mike Vrabel with the Patriots, coming back after a season off. I know some people have really big expectations for the Pats this year with Vrabel, not to mention the fix and the culture he's already implemented there, I'm sure. And then, of course, Drake May. That's pretty good. And we even heard that from the Bills fan himself, that Drake May, pretty good. Like him. But yeah, I have Vrabel. I think he can easily come back, even if he doesn't win that many games. If they have like a decent record, like maybe 9-8, I think that would be a great improvement for them. I mean, obviously they want more, but if they get like 10-11 wins, I think Vrabel's easily coach of the year.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more popular ones. So I could definitely see why. And the Patriots are another team that people think could be sneaky good this year. Let's go into comeback player of the year. And I'm going to start with Quinn here. We'll switch it up a little bit. Who do you got for that?
So I've kind of a lame answer in the sense of if Christian McCaffrey comes back and actually like starts playing really well like he was before, I think he gets the award just because it's, he was gone basically all last year. So if he comes back and dominates, I think it'll be him. But if he comes back and doesn't play like spectacularly, which might be hard to see, but if he doesn't do that well, or if the cards fall differently, I think Dak could win it, especially if Dak does well, which I think, spoiler alert, I think the Cowboys will do well this season, which pains me to say. But I think Dak could win it.
I'm going to go McCaffrey. That's the boring answer. I was back and forth between him and Aiden Hutchinson because I think he will come back and dominate for Detroit. But I think McCaffrey's going to come back and do good, and I think the Niners will be a better team because of that. Now with McCaffrey fully healthy, he got that stem cell from Germany. He's all good to go. There's no weird lying from Shanahan and the Niners front office about him. I think he's set to have a comeback year and for him to win comeback player of the year.
The Niners also have the easiest schedule. So
that helps. That helps.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
Unfair,
fantasy, folks. I know we're not a fantasy podcast. McCaffrey wouldn't be bad to draft. I know it's a risk. I know it scares you.
Not super early on, but yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's go to defensive rookie of the year. And obviously the big name here, Travis Hunter, is one of like the front runners. But again, what position will he play more of? Can he win both awards, a defensive rookie of the year and offensive rookie of the year? If that happens, I will jump out of my house because that will be the greatest thing ever. But I think Abdul Carter's going to win it. I think there's a reason why the Giants picked him so high. As much as Travis Hunter is kind of intriguing, I just think Carter and that Giants defense, who I've been saying this a lot, is criminally underrated. They just had an abysmal offense to show for it, and their poor defense was back against the wall. I know Carter kind of struggled a little bit, I think, in practice, but I think he'll step up, and I think Penn State, man, it'll resonate, and he will dominate this year for the Giants. They might not be the best team themselves. I still don't have much faith in them to be that great of a team, but I think their defense will definitely step up. Walker was definitely an intriguing one from Georgia, but I just think there's a reason why Carter was that hyped up and that drafted high. Watch his Penn State highlights. That man was a beast. I think he'll do well in the NFL.
Yeah, now, Carter is a tempting choice, but there is a clip on social media of a Jets tight end, Stone Smart, laying Carter out. just knocked him down. Have you seen that one, Dylan?
I have seen it. I think that was the one I was talking about him struggling
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, so that is not a good look for Abdul Carter. I'm just saying that. I mean, he looks to be very talented, but that's pretty bad. Tight end just murking you. That's great. He didn't even like get up. Anyway, but yeah, no, I've decided to go something a little more fun. I'm going Mason Graham. I've been hearing some good things from him. I think the NFL one article rated his preseason performance as like an A+ this last week, which again it's preseason, but I think he could come out and be great. I mean, Hutchinson came from Michigan. I mean, Graham could be the next Hutchinson. I don't know. I mean, he's on the Browns, so probably not. But, why not? Why not have some fun,
Wow, the Browns are catching strays this episode, man. But yeah,
Sorry, Browns
that's
fans.
a good.
It's hard enough to be you, but
No, we're not sorry. Screw you guys. Let's go to offensive rookie of the year. I mean, normally, like I said, we'd switch back and forth between me and Quinn, but this one's so easy to me. It's Ashton Genty. And if it's not Ashton Genty, what are we doing? He'd have to get hurt to not win that because I think he's going to be such a good running back for them. I don't care if the Raiders offense questions people. Don't question this man. Watch his Boise State videos. That man is NFL caliber and NFL ready, and there's a reason the Raiders wanted him and why. I think he was the perfect fit for a guy like Pete Carroll who loves to run the football, especially with his guys like Marshawn Lynch back in the day, except in the Super Bowl when it mattered the most. But we don't like to talk about that. But yeah, Genty, 100%.
wrong. Hunter McMillan. Yeah.
And that's going to
bold.
do it for this episode of the podcast.
I'm going to go bold here. I'm going to say McMillan comes out of nowhere and bowls out. Is this a bad choice? Probably. But is it a
Yes.
fun choice? Yes. So, yeah, I'm going to say McMillan. I'm going to say he comes out and he grabs his balls. You know what? I'm the number one receiver. Y'all suck.
You say grab it, balls. We're supposed to be a PG podcast, man. Calm down there.
It's footballs.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank God.
But, yeah.
All
So
right,
I'm
let's
gonna
go
say McMillan.
to...
That won't age horribly.
I hope
Yeah,
that
let's
gets
move on.
It'll make it to a funny TikTok short. Defensive Player of the Year now. Big Q Quinn, you start.
Defensive Player of the Year. Now, you mentioned this young man earlier, saying he could win Comeback Player of the Year. I'm saying he wins Defensive Player of the Year. And Aiden Hutchinson, if he stays healthy, I think he could very well come back and just dominate and show the Lions why they drafted him, even though they know why.
Yeah, I think he's one of the front runners to win it. I know Betting Pros has him as the favorite to win it. And Micah Parsons is second. If only that man could step on the field.
I don't know about that.
But I'm going to go with a guy who I picked last year. And
TJ Watt?
No, I did not pick TJ Watt last year.
Nah.
I'm going to go with Max Crosby to win Defensive Player of the Year. Just because I feel like it's so overdue for him to win it. And I think he'll put up the stats to be able to do it on a better Raiders team. Who knows record-wise if that'll translate to anything, but I think with the new quarterback and the offense maybe at least improving a little bit, I think Crosby's numbers will skyrocket even more, especially with, again, a guy like Pete Carroll. And, yeah, I think Crosby's going to win his first Defensive Player of the Year.
Got paid.
But now, it is time for the other position of the ball. Offensive Player of the Year, a.k.a. WTF is this award, because why is the MVP not the Offensive Player of the Year? I couldn't tell you, because the MVP is just the quarterback award. I'm sorry, but it is. Anyway, it basically is. This one's tough because there's so many intriguing choices. Again, you got to go just for the non-quarterback. I think Saquon's one of the, if not the favorite, one of the favorites again to win it like he did last year. It's tough, but I'm going to go a little bit bold here and be bold for once. And I'm going to say Jahmyr Gibbs wins it. I think he Like, I think this Lions team and this offense is going to be just as good, if not better, than last year, because pretty much everyone, almost everyone's back. I know the O-line got a little bit dipped a little bit, but I'm still confident in Dan Campbell and that coaching crew. I know losing their O coordinator's tough, but that might just lead Gibbs to getting the ball even more, and especially if they have to rely on him. And he had to split with Montgomery, and the dude still put up stats. And Montgomery is still there, but that's how good Gibbs is. And I believe he's going to show out, and I think he's going to take it. I really do. I mean, Jamar Chase was right there for me. It's a pick. You could have easily went with him, but I'm going to go a little bit bold. I'm going to say a Lion shows out here, and I'm going to say Gibbs wins it.
So I don't really love any of the choices here, to be honest. I like Saquon, but he just had 2,000 yards. That's a lot of carries. I think they're going to ease off him a little bit so he doesn't get hurt. He has had an injury history, so I'm being a little safe. I'm not picking Saquon in my fantasy leagues or for Offensive Player of the Year. So I also really like Chase, but it doesn't quite feel right for me. I don't think that's quite right. He's also, he just had a really great season. Can he do it back to back? I'm sure he can, but will he? I don't know. The Bengals, they're the Bengals after all. But so I'm going to do something a little bolder than I planned on originally. And although it might not be that bold, I'm going to say Bijan Robinson. Now that the Falcons actually have their quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., if he actually is their quarterback and they're not like, well, you know what, maybe we'll go back to Kirk Cousins. I don't know. But now hopefully they have their quarterback. They can get started with just going full ham into their identity. Bijan can just go for it. He could be set up to have a really good year this year. Take over. I mean, last year, it was Saquon, Henry, and Jacobs that were like the top running backs. Maybe Genty and Bijan will take the spots as like the top guys getting the most yards this year. I don't know. But I'm going to go a little bold and say Bijan.
I agree that Bijan and guys like Bijan, Genty could step up to be the best. Bijan's already kind of up there, but he should be even better, especially that Arthur Smith is gone and has been gone and doesn't have to micromanage the heck out of him. Thank God he's gone. But Quinn, it is time to get to our MVP, the quarterback award of the year.
Yeah.
Quinn, who is your MVP for this year? And if you say Jalen Hurts, the podcast is over.
Yeah. So it's difficult because another kind of situation like the Offensive Player of the Year, I don't really love any of the options right now. I would want to choose Josh Allen because I feel good about him in that pick, but he just won. And we kind of know there's a bit of MVP fatigue. I mean, a lot of people would die on the hill of saying Lamar Jackson should have won MVP last year over Josh Allen. So it comes to my mind that if it's, again, Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson again this year, let's say, with like very close stats, I want to say they'd pick Lamar this year because, well, one, they would feel bad maybe, and two, it's just trading off years. Lamar, Josh, like that's not actually going to happen because that's a lot of time for both quarterbacks to be really good. But this will also be my boring pick and I'm going to say Lamar Jackson. Mahomes I don't feel great about because of his weapons. I mean, if Rice wasn't suspended maybe, but like I said, his production's been going down a bit. He's still Mahomes and he's still very talented, but Kelce's getting older. It's just, I don't know. Somebody could come out of the woodwork. I'm not saying Jaden Daniels. I'm not a maniac. You weirdos. But yeah. Dylan, who are you?
Which is why I'm going with Jaden Daniels as an out.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Podcast over. Yeah, I'm leaving.
I think Jaden's going to be up there, though. I think there's no reason to say that he won't. I just don't think he's going to win in the second year. I found it hard to believe. You can go with Lamar. You can go with Allen. You can even go Mahomes if you want. I won't be mad at you. Mahomes just hasn't been the same stats-wise. I think ever since the 2022 season, the one where they beat your Eagles in the Super Bowl, that was kind of the last, really good stats year for Mahomes. Ever since, he's kind of been average. Yeah. And that's because of the lack of weapons. I picked this guy last year to win MVP, and he was pretty close. but them not making the playoffs cost it. Joe Burrow is my MVP. I think he is so overdue. Allen's got one, Lamar's got one, Mahomes has one. I think it's time that Burrow gets one. And considering this defense might be just as ass this year, Burrow might have to put up even more stats. And now that Jamar's good, they got a good running back in Chase Brown, like you said, but they're still a pass-heavy offense. And I think Burrow should be just as good, if not better, than last year. So I think he's going to inevitably win the MVP. At some point, he has to. So I think this year he's going to do it. That pains me as an AFC North fan to say that, but you can't deny how good Burrow is and how fun he is to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I like Burrow pick. It's difficult for me to pick him because he was really good last year. Like, he could have won the MVP, but because he didn't make the playoffs and because his defense was terrible, which is why he didn't make the playoffs, he didn't get consideration, which is just like, I don't see their defense getting any better. I mean, Shamar Stewart, they finally paid, and he might be good for their defense, but like, if they don't make the playoffs, I don't think he can win it. But I do like the pick. I think he is talented. I think he's going to win MVP one day, or at least hopefully for his sake. But yeah.
Well, speaking of playoffs, it's time to predict who's going to make the playoffs. It's time to predict our division winners. No records this time. No records this year. None of that. We're just going to pick from first to last of each division. And Quinn, I'll be nice to you. We're going to start with your conference. We're going to start with the NFC. Basically because the AFC is more interesting. But we will start with the NFC. And Quinn, let's start, in fact, with your division. Let's start with the NFC Beast itself.
Yeah.
And I'll get us good and started here. Philly, I think, will win that division again. I find it hard to believe if they won't. They're one of the most talented teams and talented rosters in the league. I got the Commanders in second. I don't think Daniel's going to have a sophomore slump. I think they'll be just as good. And Debo, while it might not be the most inspiring trade, still an acquisition, a decent one. I got the Cowboys in third, and I got the Giants in fourth. So I got the same things as last year. I don't see anything changing. I know the moves by the Giants and the lack of moves by the Cowboys could maybe inspire me to change that up. Oh,
looking pretty good.
What do you mean? Russell Wilson's going to be throwing those moon balls, man, all season to the other team. But I think it's going to be the same. I don't think anything's going to change in that division.
So I also have the Eagles number one. Hey, crazy. Who would have guessed?
What?
Yeah, and that nonsense streak of no back-to-back winners.
Right, I forgot about that streak.
Beast. Yeah, nonsense. Ends this year. Number two, I have the Cowboys. Like I said, I think the Cowboys are going to get back into form this year, even though I don't want them to. I think they will. So I have them at number two, and then behind them I have the Commies. I don't know. I can't see them having the same kind of crazy success. I mean, I was looking at games and, like, they're playing the Bears again. They just won that game because of the Hail Mary at the end. They shouldn't have won that game. It's just that random thing. It's a random Hail Mary, which, I mean, kudos. I mean, you win the game, you win the game. But I don't know if the Commanders can have the same type of success and with their kind of old roster. Anyway, and then I have the Giants last because, I mean, it's the Giants. They're just easy to throw at the bottom. I have been hearing good things about Jackson Dart, but I have no clue what their QB carousel is probably the most interesting now that the Browns traded Pickett away. But yeah, they certainly have a
interesting doesn't mean good. That's a preference. Interesting doesn't mean good. But I do
it's
think
a bunch
Dart
of kind of like
good.
mediocre.
He has looked good.
Yeah. So at least there's hope for them, which I don't want them to have hope. But, fair enough.
Let's move on to the NFC West, the other side of the country. And Quinn, we'll start with you. Like I said, we'll switch it up, make it interesting. Go ahead.
So, number one, top of the division-crowned team, the Los Angeles Rams. I think they're going to be really good this year, although I should put an asterisk, even though it won't matter, that with Matthew Stafford's back injury, they could get off to a slower start, depending. I have no clue what's really going on there. I don't think anyone outside the Rams organization does. Hopefully Stafford's healthy and can ball out, but the Rams are just too talented. Eagles went toe-to-toe with them. I've seen them. They're very good, but I think they win the division this year. The Niners, in second place, lost a lot of pieces, especially in the defense, so I don't think they're going to be nearly as good as they have been in the past. I don't think they're getting back to the Super Bowl unless they make some drastic changes in the future. But they have the easiest schedule. McCaffrey's back. If he's even somewhat of what he was before, I think they're going to do well, get second place, because, again, easiest schedule. It's hard not to. Now, it was kind of tricky after the Rams because the Niners have a good schedule. I don't think they're going to be as good overall. I like the Cardinals. I mean, Kyler Murray, maybe he'll develop more like chemistry with his number one receiver that they just drafted. I can't think of his name. Dylan, what's his name?
Oh my gosh, Marvin
Cardinals
Harrison Jr.
Marvin
Get your
Harrison
facts
Jr.
right.
Yeah. But I don't know. But that's actually why I have the Cardinals at 4th, and I have the Seahawks at 3rd. I don't know how Darnold is going to do, but I mean, they have Cooper Kupp now. I mean, their running back room is not bad. I mean, Walker Jr. is pretty darn good. I like him coming out of Michigan, and then even their backup running back in his name, damn it. But their backup running back is also pretty good, and so you're not going to be too concerned when Walker does go down. But I like the Seahawks just a little bit better than the Cardinals because I don't know what to do with the Cardinals. I don't trust the Cardinals. They could be good, but then they're also could be not. But Zach Charbonnet, that was their running back. Seahawks, but yeah.
I got the same thing as you. I got the exact
Nice.
same thing. The Stafford injury scared me a little bit, but I think as long as he stays healthy, which first of all, they got Garoppolo, which I know people love to make fun of him, but
Woo!
on a decent team, he can at least win you games. But as long as Stafford's healthy, I think that offense will be one of the better offenses in football. And the defense, kind of underrated with Jared Verse there. They had a decent year last year when they weren't playing Philly. The defense actually stepped up.
Yeah.
But I got the Niners in second. I think they could possibly make the playoffs, possibly a wild card. I mean, the division's going to be close between them. It's just they lost so many acquisitions in the offseason. And was the IU contract worth it? And will he be back 100%? And will McCaffrey be back 100%? And the defense lost so many people. But I think they paid Purdy for a reason. It's kind of his year to prove people wrong. And I think he will. I think they'll be a good team. Just not as good of a team as they've been in the previous years. And then I got the Seahawks and Cardinals. And that one's close. I don't think either of them are going to be that good. That O-line in Seattle's a disaster. It's poor Sandarno's going to be running for his life. And yes, Walker and Chardonnay are good. But again, behind a bad O-line, can only do so much. And the Cardinals... Will Kyler ever develop? We don't know. I mean, it's weird. I wanted to put the Cardinals in 3rd because they seem like the definition of mediocre, like 7-8 wins. But I don't know. What have they really done in the offseason to make me think, oh, they jumped now. Now they're like really good. They really haven't done it.
Josh Sweat.
Okay. That's an okay move. That's about it. But there's nothing really showing me that they're like division winners or even a playoff team. I don't really see them progressing. So, yep. Same division as you. Same predictions. But hopefully we'll be different.
Alike.
If only. Let's go to the NFC South. Probably the division and on both the NFC and AFC that we're the least look forward to predicting because the South's never that interesting to predict. But I am going to go with Tampa to win the division again. I find it hard to believe that anyone's going to... Yeah, I find it hard to believe anyone's going to topple them at all. Besides, like, the losses at coordinator, they really didn't lose anybody, so I think they'll be good. But I got the Panthers jumping to second place. because Bryce Young stepped up a lot at the end of last season. They got their new coach is really helping him out. He really is the quarterback whisperer. He did revitalize Baker's career a few years ago in Tampa. So he might be doing that for Bryce Young. And despite that defense still just looking as terrible as ever, I still think their offense can help them win a couple more games. I still don't think it'll be anywhere near playoffs, but I think they're a second place team. I got Atlanta in third. I don't know what to expect out of Michael Penix. He's kind of like a coin flip. He showed some promise, but then he's not the most accurate guy in the world either. Bijan, like we said, should have a great year. Drake London is a very, very talented receiver. But Atlanta just always seems to the choke. They never seem to get over the chokehold, literally, because they just blow these games a lot. They blew a lot of them last year. They're already regretting that Cousins contract. That was one of the biggest mistakes ever. And I think they're going to pay for it. I think they're going to be third. And the Saints, Tyler Shuck is starting. That's all I have to say. Actually. Either way, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I'm sorry. I know Kamara's still there. I don't care.
No respect for the Rattler? That's crazy. So we also have the same predictions. Crazy. I have the Bucks first because it's the Bucks. They're the only team that seems to be competent and know how to win games, or have a winning record. The Panthers second because Tedero McMillan's going to be the man and empower their team to more victories and be the new number one receiver in the league. I think the Panthers are going to do better. A little bit of a bold. They're going to come up, be better than the Falcons. The Falcons, like you said, I've heard people like Penix Jr., but I don't really know. I don't really trust him because I haven't seen a lot. But yeah, the Falcons, they have Bijan, Kyle Pitts was supposed to be great, but I guess he's just not. I don't know.
Don't say that.
And then
no.
The Saints, you got the Rattlers starting. So enough said. Saints, fuck. R.I.P.
Yep, R.I.P. Moving on. Let's go to the NFC North. That was the best division in football last year. Very well could be again. This one's one of the tougher ones for me to predict. So Quinn, you're first.
All right. This is also somewhat tough for me, but also not. I'm giving the Lions coordinators, the new coordinators, the benefit of the doubt and say the Lions are going to get first. Going to figure it out with the talent they have. The talent might overcome any weaknesses of the coordinators. I don't know. We saw it, 2 years ago with the Eagles, got new coordinators and just kind of fell apart. I don't know where the Lions' new coordinators are coming from, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say the Lions will win the division. I have the Packers in second. I trust the Packers. I like their head coach. And enough said, I think they're second. Number 3, I have the Bears, actually. I really don't know if they're going to jump up and be really good or if they're going to be kind of mid again. I mean, you would hope Caleb Williams figures it out, but I don't know. So I have him at 3. Number 4, I have the Vikings. I just don't know about J.J. McCarthy. I mean, he was kind of a system quarterback at Michigan. I mean, I know Rich Eisen loves him, but what reason do I have for thinking this guy's going to be good? I mean, Justin Jefferson is the reason people think he's going to be good, I guess. And I mean, Justin Jefferson is great. I'm on my fantasy team, so hopefully that works out. But I just don't have reason to believe that the Vikings going to this rookie quarterback are going to be spectacular. I can't put him that high until I see more because I haven't seen anything from him. But yeah,
it's a question mark. Definition of a question mark. I agree with you that Detroit's gonna overcome their coordinator woes and win the division, especially with Hutchinson back on the defense. I think they'll be good. Maybe not as good record-wise, but they'll still win the division.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. I got the Packers in second as well. As much as I kind of downplayed them a little bit in the power rankings, they're still a playoff team. I just don't think they're division winner good, but with Jordan Love at the helm, they're still a much talented team, and the defense has been one of the most improved the past few years that they've been. I got the Vikings in third. I mean, J.J. McCarthy questions me at all, too, but their roster is very well put together, and Kevin O'Connell can honestly succeed with a mop at quarterback, to be honest. So even though the Vikings are third, I think it might be similar to last year where it's very close playoff wise between the three teams. But sorry, Chicago, you're going to be in the basement again at 4 because they want to. I mean, Caleb Williams, I'll try to give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of that he can develop. And the Bears have made moves, but man, unless Ben Johnson is like the savior and can somehow like magically turn this team around, just looking at their roster still, I'm not scared of them. I don't think they're going to fare well at all. I think it's going to be pretty similar to last year, unfortunately. They could prove me wrong. That's why it's one of the tougher predictions to predict, but yeah, sorry, Bears.
The ultimate troll is going to be that the Lions give their Ben Johnson the Bears. Ben Johnson's going to be a good coordinator, but not a good head coach. Flop and then just screw over the Bears. Bears are going to be like, damn it, Lions, why'd you give us him? Man, blah, blah, blah. That would be funny. That would be classic.
That would be. We'll see. We'll see. On to the AFC. We'll start with the AFC East. And for me, I mean, it's easy-ish in terms of the winner because I got Buffalo winning that division. As long as number 17 is playing a quarterback, no matter what's around them, they're going to win that division no matter what. But this is when it gets very, very, very tricky to pick. But I'm going to go with the Patriots to go in second place. That doesn't mean record-wise I think they're going to be amazing, but I do think they're going to be a lot better than last year with all the additions. I think Drake May is going to get a lot better, and that defense is criminally underrated, especially with Mike Vrabel there now. I'm going to put the Jets at 3. Again, very close. I mean, Justin Fields has looked
stinky Justin Fields.
Completely up and down. He'll make some great plays every now and then, but then his accuracy has just been god-awful in terms of he still has not developed as a thrower. And they got weapons, but it just, I mean, they couldn't even do it with Aaron Rodgers, so what makes me think that they're going to do it with Fields? Last place, I got Miami. I just think they're a mess. Their defense is a disaster. Tua's on the brink of retirement, unfortunately, if he gets another concussion, which is just a shame. And yeah, I don't have high expectations for them at all.
Yeah, so I have the division. All my names are relatively short. All of them are 4 letters except for the Bills. But it goes Bills, Pats, Fins, Jets. Yeah, Bills number 1. I think that's pretty easy. Rest of the division, well, I think the Patriots can be better, and I trust Vrabel and Drake May. I think can be a pretty good quarterback. They have Stephon Diggs now. He's kind of old, but he's a weapon. But I think the Pats will get second. I think they have enough talent and win enough games. And then, yeah, I have the Dolphins. I just like the Dolphins a bit better than the Jets. At least I know Tua, when he's not concussed, can actually play pretty well. Justin Fields, no, I don't trust him. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was a whole lot better than Justin Fields, and now they're going down to Fields. So Jets are kind of a mess with they now have a new coach and GM. I don't know how that's going to go. I haven't heard great things about Justin Fields, but I just like the Dolphins' talent better than the Jets. But yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot when you get to 3 and 4. You could consider the Pats too, but I think the Pats will separate themselves enough from the other 2 disasters to be in second place.
I can respect that. On to the AFC West. Quinn, starting with you, what we got?
AFC West. Well, this is a little interesting. I have the Broncos top of the division. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they're going to improve a bit. I think Knicks will get even better in his second season. Mainly, also, I don't think the Chiefs are going to do as well this year. They've been doing really well, but how many games did they have? That was a 1-score game. The Broncos were going to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, except for that blocked field goal. I don't think so many things are going to go the ways of the Chiefs, and so I don't think they're going to quite win the division this year because of that. I mean, you get the 1-score games, and the next year the team or first year team who wins all of those or a lot of those does well, but then the next year they don't do as well. So yeah, I have the Chiefs. So I have the Chiefs as second, just because of that. I don't think they're going to do as well. Then I have the Chargers in third. This is a tough division too because it's all pretty darn good teams. Because the Raiders could do very well as well this season with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. I mean, they have a chance, but yeah. So I have the Raiders in fourth. So Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders.
Wow. All right, Quinn. Doubling down on him being very high on the Broncos. I don't see them winning the division. I still think Kansas City takes it as long as 1587 and Andy Reid still exists. And I think that defense just makes the difference too. I think they'll win the division. But I do think Denver will get in second and secure a playoff spot. I think they're going to be even better than they were last year. Chargers in third. I mean, it just, again, the AFC West is so tough, and the Chargers might suffer because of that. They're still a good team, but the running back room, it's kind of like a question mark at this point. The receiving room, they brought Allen back, but still, like, it's more just, can Herbert get over the hump? That's like the main thing, and I just don't think the Chargers can stand out. And the Raiders, I mean, they don't even look like a bad team, but just in this division, they're just the weakest team there. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So, yep. Sorry, Raiders. Sorry, Raiders fans. Maybe they could prove me wrong. Maybe.
I mean, if the Raiders were in the AFC East, sorry. In the AFC East, I think they could be second place over like the Fins and Jets, but they're not, unfortunately.
That's a good point. On to the AFC South here. Again, depressing division to go over. I got the Texans winning again. I think they'll be a lot better than last year too, especially with their O-line maneuvers, because they were a disaster last year, but I think they'll repeat. I got the Jags in second. I think they'll be a lot better than last year, especially with the Travis Hunter pick and now with the great offensive mind. So I expect them to make a jump. Titans at 3. This was tough because they got the number 1 pick and their roster still is weak. But the Colts at 4. Daniel Jones is starting for them for the season. I mean, that is all I have to say.
Yeah, I have the same exact rankings. I mean, Texans are, I think, the runaway favorites there. And then, it's difficult, too, because it's like, what do you do? The Jags, I think, are going to be a bit better and can take second place. But, like, the Titans, Cam Ward, how good will he be? I don't know. They still kind of stink roster-wise, but I think Ward can help carry them to not last place. And, yeah, like you said, the Colts, I mean, they're not a bad team, but you have Daniel Jones starting. And the Giants were in last place with Daniel Jones before, so Daniel Jones, therefore, can only get last place in his division, even though it's a worse division.
All right, final division. My favorite division. Everyone's favorite division. Should be your favorite division.
Not
AFC
my favorite.
North. I think the Ravens will repeat. I think, again, they're one of the best rosters in the league. I find it hard to believe that they won't repeat as AFC North champs, and I think there should be one of the favorites for the Super Bowl. I won't be biased. The Ravens are one of the better teams. I got Cincy in second. I know the defense scares people, but I think that offense will be just enough for them to be a little bit better than last year and make the playoffs. Steelers, I just think it's going to be the same season as usual. I think it's going to be a 10-7, 9-8, and losing the wild card or not even make it. Yeah, I don't see them overtaking Cincy as long as Cincy's offense is going to be this good. And yeah, I just don't get the hype with the Steelers. I mean, I want to believe, but it just seems like a same thing as usual from last year. Wash, rinse, repeat to me. And Cleveland in 4 because that quarterback room. I can't believe Myles Garrett. I guess Buddy talks. He wants to stick with this team, but good luck not being in the playoffs again.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought I just heard like a slightly depressed Yinzer talking about AFC North. Crazy. Anyway,
Yes.
so I also have the Ravens in first place. I imagine they'll do as well as they did last year, but I don't know. Uh, we'll have to see. But I have the number one. Number two, I have the Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers, even though he's old, is going to help you guys
believe in
out. I
me.
think you'll get to the playoffs. I mean, it's not crazy. I think he'll win you a game or maybe two more than Russell Wilson did last year. I think we'll get to the playoffs, but then I have the Bengals. It's just tough when your defense sucks and your offense is good, but like then the first like third of the season they don't show up anyway. So like they they have to start winning games at the beginning of the season to make the playoffs. Otherwise, they just stink. So
Mhm.
I have them here at 3 until they show that they can, in fact, win games in the first third of the season. But yeah, when they do, they'll get moved up for now, third place. And then fourth out of the Browns because it's the Cleveland Browns. You know, if you're like, I'm pretty sure you can just say Browns and you'd be like, oh, yep, fourth place in division. You know, on serious note, it's rough. Myles Garrett's their best player. They have some bright spots, but they also have a weird quarterback room.
But it's Cleveland. They can have all the bright
Cleveland.
spots they want. It's Cleveland. It is time. What is your Super Bowl pick?
My Super Bowl pick is we're gonna start with the AFC. Since we start the NFC, I'll start with the AFC. The Buffalo Bills finally make it to the Super Bowl.
Gosh.
And it'll be a rematch of a pretty darn good game. Not this past year, but the year before. A game that went into overtime against the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, shocker. Eagles get Super Bowl. Quinn, who would have guessed? Half the league? Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I'm saying the Eagles and the Bills. I think this will be a really good game. Like I said, it was a really good game when they played 2 years ago, even with the Eagles' stinky coordinators and partial team. But yeah, I have the Eagles, Bills. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah.
Ooh, this is a tough one for me, man. I got the Chiefs right last year, but I got it wrong with the NFC opponent. So it was 1 for 2. 1 for 2. But my Super Bowl 60 pick is going to be the Detroit Lions against the Baltimore Ravens. It's Detroit's time to get back to the Super Bowl. I think they'll really get over the coordinator woes because I just think that team is just way too darn talented to not make it there. I think the defense, too, will be a lot better, especially in the secondary, than last year to help them win playoff games. In Baltimore, I know it should be Buffalo's time, too, but I just think despite them beating the Ravens in the postseason, Baltimore's just got the edge in talent, and I think that's what's going to help them carry them to a Super Bowl. I really do. So I think both these teams, it's kind of inevitable that they'll be in a Super Bowl, and I think this year will be the years that they make it. But Quinn, I don't even have to ask you this because we know you're going to pick, but who's your Super Bowl winner?
Well, you just made a really good point with the Ravens having a better roster and team overall than the Bills. And so I can't just totally be like, no, you're wrong. The Eagles have a better roster than the Bills. And there's people saying that, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I mean, it was a great game. Bills have lost some pieces. The Eagles have just built up. I have the Eagles winning back-to-back Super Bowls. We have the talent. We have Saquon Barkley. We have the whole offense and defense. After the time, it's now. Go Birds.
I got another bird winning the Super Bowl. It's not the Eagles. It's the
Wow.
Baltimore Ravens winning the Super Bowl. This was close. I had the Lions winning last year. Wanted to pick them again, but I just got to go with the talent. I got to go with the quarterback.
It pains you, I can tell.
Trust me, it pains me to say this, man, but I got to go with Baltimore. That talent's just unworldly, and I just expect big things from them this year. I think that playoff loss is going to infuriate them so much the way they lost. Same with Detroit, too, the way they went out, and I think they're going to come out, both teams. I think I think both our Super Bowl picks have potentials to be amazing games to watch. Better than the blowout we had last year.
That was a pretty good game, personally. I think most of America enjoyed that game, seeing the Chiefs blown out.
Okay. Oh, of course you thought that was good. Of course you did. I mean, I guess I did too, because I root against the Chiefs, and most of
who didn't want to see the Chiefs get destroyed, besides Chiefs fans. But
and
yeah,
Swifties.
not a very edge of your seat game.
That's going to do it here for the DQ Frenzy on our return episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back here next week to go over week 1. We are here of the NFL season. We are so back. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night and get ready. Get back on that gridiron.
See you guys.